Finally, God, I'm a busy man. All right, we are here with another episode of Our Parents' Basement. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Welcome to another wonderful episode 69.
69, dude!
There it is. Yes, thank you for joining us once again. We are the Basement Dwellers, and we are happy to be here with another new episode of things to talk about that relates to all things nerd. I'm excited to be here, and these two dwellers are as well, I am sure. As you all know, I am Philip. I'll be hosting for the evening, and with me we have Charles. And Charles, how are you this lovely evening? Charles, pay attention.
I'm good.
God damn it.
I'm good. I just saw something shiny.
ADHD is strong with this one. So you doing good, Charles? You doing good?
Doing all right. Doing all right.
Good. Glad to hear it. And we also have Jason, but I call him Turf. Turf, how are you this evening?
Man, I am well. I am excited to be Thursday once again. I like hanging out with you guys more than anything else I could do on Thursday night.
All right. Well, I agree with you on that. And before we begin, I want to give a quick shout out to another wonderful podcast. I know both of the guys who are on this podcast. I'm good friends with them. I am talking about the Super Sentai Brothers, the Super Sentai Brothers podcast. This is a podcast where my friend Matt and his brother Jay talk about all things Sentai. They go through various episodes. They talk about, just the ins and outs of this phenomena that is going on in Japan, that has been going on in Japan for such a long time. This is not the Power Rangers you guys remember, so give them a check out whenever you want. Yeah, it's a very entertaining, very unique podcast, and I recommend it to everyone. So you guys look both like really confused, like, are you for real? This is what they do?
I miss the Power Rangers and the whole Sentai thing. When it came over here, I was just a little too old. My little brother was into Power Rangers for quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I have an open mind. I enjoy a man in a rubber suit.
Well, they
cover
various episodes. Yeah, like Batman. I forgot he has that rubber suit too. Train of thought. Oh yeah, so like they go through various episodes and series, and it's just really entertaining. And what I like about their show is they have good voices for podcasting. We all, like the three of us, have good voices, I like to think, and having a good voice really helps. You know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to you guys. Keep up the good work, and that's all I got for that. So now we can finally begin with our actual discussion, and this is the first item for the discussion is a topic that Charles kind of just threw out there. We were trying to figure out, what are we going to talk about for this week for our 69th episode, and Charles had an idea. So do you want to take it away, my friend?
What's up, Chuck?
What's up? Talk about these video game subscription services. So I ask you guys, when do you think like when the first ones came out was? How far back?
Satellaview
console.
No, there's probably something in the 80s, some weird thing that has a modem that dialed in.
Yep, 1983 on the Atari 2600 was.
Oh, I forgot the 2600.
Yeah, the CBC game line.
Really? This is new to me.
Apparently they had a modem. It's like a Atari cartridge just popped in the system. It dialed out. So it was $60 back in 1983, which was
expensive.
$60 for the equipment, or $60 for the
equipment.
Was there a subscription that came along with it?
Yeah, there's a subscription and $1 to download a game. And I think each time you download the game, you get 5 to 10 plays out of it. Then after that, you have to re-download it.
Well, they were really taking the arcade approach.
Yeah.
You got a quarter for a game in an arcade, and this way, you download a game for a $1, you got 6 plays out of it. So
yeah,
I like their style.
That's really cool. They had that. I had no idea. Like, I think Atari, E.T. I don't think this. This is so cool.
Yeah, and apparently, they, it looks like they developed into America Online, apparently, later on. And they're
America Online.
Everybody in America CDs all the time.
Yeah.
I thought that was a
so,
big deal
yeah.
when you got a CD in the mail, though. I'm like, whoa, this is so cool.
You know what the
You
best
got-
thing you could do with those? Have you ever put a CD in the microwave?
I have not done. I've heard
No.
it produces a spectacular light show.
It is incredible. I mean, you'll tear your microwave up, but you know, a good 2 seconds of a good light show is pretty awesome.
Oh yeah.
So don't do it for long.
No, it'll tear up your microwave, but it makes like a cool little like the design on the back of your CD. It looks like lightning bolts or whatever on the back of the CD, and they made excellent coasters in the early 2000s.
Yes, they did.
In many college trailers that I lived in.
Did either of you play Monster Rancher for the PlayStation 1?
No.
I did not.
If you put any CD in the PlayStation console, the game will read it and make a monster pop out. And there's like, I think 800 some monsters available.
So you could put like a music CD. You could like once the game was started, you could put my Limp Bizkit CD in there.
Music CDs, yep.
Like a little monster would come out in the game.
Other game discs. I'm not sure if it was Saturn compatible, and I don't know if like the PS2 would now if it could work back. But yeah, music CDs and.
Dude, how cool would that be if you like if somebody made a game, you know, today, and I put a Manson CD in, and like a little like demon was my monster. How awesome would that be? Or
yeah. I'm not sure what the algorithm was behind what produced what, and
it's probably random, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean it could have been. I think an copy of not Game Informer, but one that's no longer around. Some old gamer magazine had a list of
Game Pro
pretty accurate results of each editor trying the same CD, but who knows? But either way, that's another story. So yeah, so this Atari service just branched off and became AOL. Is that what I'm hearing, Charles?
Apparently, they grew to be AOL for like how businesses change.
That's a change, all right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, game.
What I mean, what are some of the other subscription services? I mean, we know what we have now.
There's Sega Channel for the Sega Genesis.
Huh.
Play Cable, which I guess hooked up to the Intellivision apparently, and they wanted
So I'd never heard about that one.
Yeah, it was supposed to hook up with the cable television providers of the day and work somehow with that, but it never really worked.
Like Sega Channel was you downloaded games, right?
I believe so.
Because that's how like Wily Wars was the only way you could play it in the United States was on the Sega Channel, correct?
Yeah. I believe
Mega Man Wily Wars, or am I completely talking out on rear end? Because that happens.
Sega Channel.
Yeah, I haven't had to read through all of this, but it's it's 1994. It was launched in 94.
Ooh, good year. That's a good year for games too.
90,
so,
yeah. But
Sega Channel, huh? So
yeah.
So you pop in your Genesis and you have access to new games, or how does it work?
Well, the Sega Channel had its own, like you could download games onto, I guess, a cartridge. Is that how it worked, or could you only
the cartridge hooked up to a coaxial cable? Was pay to play. It was like pay per view. So that's until 1998.
See, they had a lot of games that were like Contra Hardcore was on there, and California Games, and Phantasy Star 2. A lot of games that were out, you could get a physical copy of, but this was kind of the infancy, I guess, of downloading games. And then there were games, I know, Mega Man the Wily Wars. That's the only way you could get it in North America was.
Yeah, you keep bringing that game up. So what was so special about this one?
It's a Mega Man game that people like. It's like a remake of Mega Man 1, 2, and 3, I believe.
Oh, neat.
With 16-bit graphics.
Oh, cool.
I bought a repro of it a few years ago. It's very, very neat. It's a fun game, and it's the only way, like I said, the only way you could get that in the United States was through the Sega Channel. So that's the one that the Sega Channel is famous for, is the reason I brought that up.
Okay. But then Japan, sticking with the same system, you had the Satellaview for the Super Nintendo.
Oh, that I've heard of.
Yeah, that was very hooked up via satellite, and I guess at their peak, they had 116,000 households using it.
See,
That's pretty substantial.
They got like the Legend of Zelda, was it Parallel Worlds? Is that what it was? It was like the, I guess, second quest for Link to the Past. They got like Excite Bike Bun Bun.
Well, the one I think of is Radical Dreamers, which is kind of like a sequel to Chrono Trigger.
Right.
And now that can be played via a translation patch and emulation, which is cool. I haven't tried it yet, but that's the only one I can really think of off the top of my head. That
there's the BS Zelda,
yeah,
BS Fire Emblem,
Fire Emblem, okay,
2.
Oh, cool.
A bunch of stuff that I can't pronounce. Shockman, which sounds amazing.
This Shockman.
I hope not. It's two in the pink, one in the stink man.
But yeah, it was a very interesting thing. They had all these broadcasts, like it was broadcast via satellite, so they had schedules of where they had broadcast certain games on certain days. Looks like,
well, there was all those Kirby games that recently popped up that were only available through the Satellaview.
Tell me more. I love Kirby.
It was some mini games. I don't know if they've been included on anything else or not, but there were, and I'm once again, the Satellaview, the way it would download it to a cartridge and you could play it offline, but you had to be on the ready to go when they were broadcasting the signal.
Cool.
So
all right.
I think there was 4 parts to the Zelda, and this is completely off the top of my head, so it may be wrong. There was, I think, 6 different Kirby games.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's the only way you could play them, and they've kind of been lost to the annals of time. I'm sure Nintendo has them somewhere because Nintendo, but that's the only way they've been released. There's the ROMs for them are out there now because in the last year, somebody found a cartridge with those on them, with a Satellaview cartridge, that those were still on.
So Satellaview had their own cartridges too? They're not.
No, you had one cartridge, and you could download X number of games to it. Or maybe like parts of games. And the thing is, you had the slots or whatever to fill up. Once those were filled up, you either had to override them or do something else. Well, I guess that's the only way to do it. You'd override it to play a different game. You'd have to get rid of one. So,
really?
That's why a lot of like these Kirby games got overwritten and nobody can find them. So it's kind of neat that one of those cartridges turned up like on a Yahoo auction in the last couple of years. I want to say it's since we've been doing this show. I think we talked about it when it happened, but
I don't recall that.
Maybe on Retro Reload when we did that.
So does the Super Famicom, would it get another like attachment so it can hold this? It would. Okay.
It uses the attachment that's on the bottom of the the Super Nintendo, Super Famicom.
Okay.
It uses that expansion port. So, but they had all these events for they had Soundlink games, which they had narrated voice acting for that for back then. Nothing else had that,
Wow.
And I guess they're at certain times during the day, so you had to be logged onto the system to play that game, and you'd be able to compete with everyone who's on. So I guess competition got pretty fierce, and they would give prizes to people who got the highest score to do the best thing in the game. So
there was a Chrono Trigger Jet Bike special game you could download for the Satellaview.
No shit.
Yeah,
that's cool. Like that mini game in the actual
in the junkyard era, I guess in the future. Yeah, you had to race through there. Yeah, there's a
what's that called? The Protodome.
That was Protodome was that part. I don't know what the
but I know 2380 or whatever. But that's neat that they had a game just for that.
They had something called Cockadoodle Doo RPG Maker Super Dante.
And there's another thing that they had pretty cool for Super Famicom in Japan. They had a horse race betting game where you could actually bet on the horse tracks,
like the real life horse tracks.
Yeah.
Oh, via the Satellaview or
I believe so.
It was for the Satellaview,
and it was actually you would bet on an actual live horse race in Japan and actually bet real money.
Real yen? That's cool.
Yeah. So
wow. All right.
But yeah, what else?
And then after you got past the Satellaview, you moved up. So you didn't the
Saturn had its broadband. I think Saturn was one of the first ones that had broadband access to like a
I feel like I should know
DSL.
this because I love the Saturn so much, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think out of the box it had just a normal dial-up, but you could get a broadband access.
I know the
adapter for it.
Dreamcast. You got
Oh, yeah,
the
I'm thinking
broadband adapter.
Dreamcast. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, the Dreamcast I knew. Like, I
Yeah, out
don't
of the box, it had a
Yeah.
modem attached to it, and that was the first one that got really widespread, I think, in the United States, anyhow.
Well, they advertised it even before it came out. I just remember seeing an advertisement for the Dreamcast in a movie theater of all places, and one of the things that caught my attention was go online and challenge other players, and I was like, "What? You can do that now with games?" So that was pretty cool. And that's what, that's the Dreamcast definitely had that.
Was it Sega Net? Is that what it was called?
Might be. Yeah, I think
Dream Passport in Japan.
So the Sega Saturn did have Sega Net in Japan. You used the Sega Net link. It wasn't until we got the Dreamcast that we got a online in the United States. There you go. You learned something. We dropped some knowledge on you here on Our Parents' Basement.
I'm all about the knowledge bombs at the OPB. To that right now.
Dreamcast is where, and even though it was, we had pretty shifty internet up where I was from, I knew a guy that he played online, and I was like, man, how do you 56K modem? How are you playing online? But he played Quake 3 and I think that's Phantasy Star Online. I don't know if he played that, but I remember that being a game. But yeah, it blew my mind that somebody could play like Quake Arena online. That was crazy. You could play against people that weren't even there.
Yeah.
In the year 2000.
I love singing in this show. So good.
Oh yeah. So, and that's and I think on the GameCube they had keep going on the same. GameCube had their real broadband.
They had a broadband adapter. I don't know what games might have used that.
Well, I know you can Mario Kart online with that.
I think they had families.
Double Dash?
Mm-hmm. It's here unless the 64 had it. I know one of the two before the Wii had that capability to do that. Now I'm not sure if you can like have that game subscription thingy, but I know you can get online with I'm pretty sure it's the GameCube one, Double Dash. So
that blows my mind.
Now it's tricky to set up, and I think it was only available if you imported something from Japan, but I know it's possible.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I know there's like local area networks, LAN play, if you will. I did not know you could play online. But then after those shenanigans, when we got the Xbox 360, well, actually no, the original Xbox started it. Halo, I guess, was the thing that started.
Oh yeah, Halo.
Xbox was Xbox Live back then.
The Xbox Live was on the original Xbox.
Okay.
Was it really? Okay,
yes.
I know that. Sweet.
And then that was when it really caught on that you can play these games online. You can play, like I said, Halo against other people, and that was the beginning of something huge. Like it seemed like before every game had its own service. When I was in high school, I tried to play Red Baron 3D online, and of course I had a 28.8 modem. That's all the old AT or the CenturyLink would offer. That was the fastest speed I could get. And then if somebody called, I got kicked off. And
I hate that.
It was the 90s, man.
God,
but it seemed like every game had its own service. If I wanted to play Phantasy Star, I went to the Phantasy Star servers. Xbox Live was the first thing that brought everything together. If you're gonna play it, you log on to your Xbox Live account and you can play these games online. So I don't know if it perfected it, but it was definitely the first one to really catch on.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's gone crazy. Now, I think a lot of times, like I think Nintendo, they're just starting to charge for it now. Coming up soon of the Switch.
Well, wasn't there always a fee though? Like with
I think
at least.
I think it was always free for Nintendo. They never charged.
Nintendo has always been free. Especially they didn't get it right until the Wii U. And honestly, yeah, I know it's crazy, right? Xbox figured it out Microsoft figured it out 2 generations ago.
Yeah.
And the PS3, they came out with PlayStation Plus or the PSN, PlayStation Network.
Yeah.
And then here we go. Mario's coming up. Hey, we got the Wii U. We're going to play the Mario Kart online and Splatoon online. And I just like my Mario impression. It was crazy, right?
Beautiful.
It's me, Mario.
Some one-upsmanship. Thank you, sir.
Wow. Yeah.
Jeez. But
Geez, Charles, got to be extra, don't you?
Jenny made me do it. She's
Yeah.
me.
Nintendo was so far behind on that. They're I don't know why they don't just blatantly rip off Xbox Live, because Xbox Live got it right.
I know. Like, imitation's the highest form of flattery, and
Not even
I don't
flattery.
think Microsoft would care.
Well,
Like, okay, they're doing the same thing as we are, but
like, okay, we added voice chat. Okay, we added parties. Okay, we added stable online play. Yeah, Steam has that too, kind of inside Steam, but Xbox Live, I'm gonna say got it right. They've been doing it right. I know since the beginning of the 360.
that's like 2005. So
Right.
been over
In
10
my opinion,
years.
they've been doing it for a decade, right?
Mm-hmm.
I played Tiger Woods golf a lot online, like an insane amount.
Yeah.
And it was definitely worth it. I mean, I have a buddy that he's in the Air Force, so he moves all over the world, but we can still hang out, play Tiger Woods golf or played college football or, whatever the game, Call of Duty 3. We played a lot of Call of Duty 3 back in the day. It was the last one that was in World War 3 or World War 3, World War 2, and you got to be the medic, got extra points for healing people. It was awesome.
Nice.
Underrated. So we played that a lot, and then we played Modern Warfare a lot. So it was Xbox Live was I didn't do PSN much until my PS4.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as Xbox Live in the 2005 to 2015 or so, they were far and away above everybody else. It was they got it right, and I don't know why it's so difficult for everybody else to copy them.
Well, I think the PlayStation or Sony, they're fine. I mean, they're making it work. Nintendo, oh man, when I saw what you had to do on the Wii to get online and get like a unique identification, it just seems so cumbersome. Seems so much unnecessary work that at one point, like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do it anymore.
And there were so few games on the Wii that you could actually use. That you
can play
do.
Brawl. You can play Smash Online. You can do that, right?
I don't know. I never did. I know the only one I really remember that you've being able to do online was Animal Crossing. You could go to other people's towns.
Well,
and
yay.
it had the Wii Speak attachment that you put as a microphone you put up by your TV, and it was about like a webcam mic. It would pick you up. It wasn't very clear, but it would pick up everything in the room. Mm-hmm. And it was neat to be able to go to other people's towns if you had other people that were playing Animal Crossing, but I really didn't. I was too busy playing Call of Duty. So
yeah, never got into Animal Crossing. So yep, I wouldn't need to go online with Nintendo anyway, but if I did, it's a principle of the thing, damn it. Make it straightforward.
I think anybody that plays Splatoon could get into it. Splatoon's a really fun. It's a fun shooter that it's bright colors and it's not very broy, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. Splatoon's fun, and I played Mario Kart a lot online on the Wii U. So that was Mario Kart, I guess Wii U, maybe whatever it's called, Mario Kart 8. That's what it was. I played it a whole bunch with our buddies like 8-Bit Eric and with Norm and the Eric from Retro Eric. Played a lot with him and Mo. So I mean, it was really cool to come into this, get this community together, and we were playing together, and everybody saw who was online and stuff like that. It was neat.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's interesting to think just how far it's come, though. I mean, since the 80s to now.
Well, and I guess we're kind of talking about online play more than actual subscription services like we were planning on, but
yeah, I noticed that too. But that's all right. I mean, they kind of coincide. I mean, with Sony,
they kind of do.
PlayStation Plus,
you got to pay to play online. I think with Sony.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where the subscription comes in with PlayStation Plus. I will say they got another aspect of it right, of the subscription service that
Mhm.
I think Nintendo's going to try to follow, that Xbox Live has followed, is they started giving you games.
Oh yeah.
You paid for, your $60 a year for PlayStation Plus, and every now and then they'd toss you some games. And they didn't mess around with the games that they gave you. It wasn't just some old dud.
Yeah, they give you
Like-
some good stuff.
Rocket League was on there before it was even released physical. You could download it for free.
Yeah,
They gave. Go ahead, Charles.
I would say for the game, I just downloaded Just Cause 3, which is on
Is
there like free right now.
Nice.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
they're not just giving away some dud that they, is just in the bargain bin. They're giving away really good games. I know Broforce was on there. I know I talk about that game all the time, but I love it. Say Super Meat Boy was on there.
They gave you Symphony of the Night, Castlevania.
Oh, did they really?
They
That was
did
before
that.
me.
They gave another Castlevania game. It's like a remake of the first one, like Castlevania
Chronicles?
Chronicles. Yep, that's the one.
That was on the PlayStation 1.
And Final Fantasy V. If you
Look at
remember.
there. I dropped some PlayStation 1 knowledge, and you didn't even know it, sir.
Which one? Chronicles?
Yeah, Chronicles. I knew the name of the game.
Yeah.
But
But there's been some really, really good games released on the
Mhm.
PlayStation with PlayStation Plus. I
Yeah.
didn't really understand that at first. I thought it was going to be that, they did that PS1 or PlayStation Classics or whatever for a minute. And I don't even know if that may still be a thing. It may not be a thing where you could download like PlayStation 1 games. But apparently the PlayStation Plus started way back in 2010. I didn't even know that was a thing then, because the first game they released on it was Wipeout HD. I don't know.
Really?
I think they had like Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey in 2010,
Yeah.
Abe's Exodus in 2010, and these are just games, like I said, they're giving away, and those are all PlayStation 1 games, right?
Yeah.
So that may have been where I got that idea.
Yeah, Abe's Odyssey. What was it again?
I
Abe's
don't
what?
know. I've scrolled past it.
That one. Yeah, I do remember that being PS1 for sure.
Siphon Filter and Siphon Filter 2.
I have all three of those. I don't like them, but free is free.
They gave away the Simpsons arcade game in 2012. How awesome is that?
Oh man, I missed that one.
So let's get down here to the PS4 where they started, like, Hotline Miami was a good one. It was really fun. Let's see. Don't Starve. People like that one. I never played it. Y'all talk. I'm looking.
Well, the point of this is like, with PlayStation Plus, there's an incentive to get that monthly or get that year-long subscription. I mean, if it's $60, that's a pretty good deal. So not only do you get the free games, you get discounts on other things you download from the PlayStation Store. I'm sure you get other little perks as well. I'm not
shifted
sure.
away from just playing they shifted away from just paying for online play to making it an actual service. You got free games, you got the online play that you wanted, you get discounts on other things for being a member of this PlayStation Plus. And I'll tell you what, if you're going to play a lot of PSN or play a lot of PlayStation, it's well worth it.
Oh yeah.
Before $60 a year was kind of like, man, $60 just to play online, that's a ripoff. But man, when they started throwing in games, it's like, yeah, this is definitely worth it. I feel.
Well, I mean, you
way
can
more
play
justified.
online. I mean, yes, PlayStation Plus is something different. Like, you mean like you can play certain games that already have online capabilities? Is that what you?
Well, okay. PlayStation Plus is not. You have to pay. You pay for PlayStation Plus to play online on most games. Do you not?
It's a tongue twister there.
I believe
PlayStation
so.
Plus to play online on most PlayStation games. Am I completely wrong in saying that, or?
To
I
play
think
online
so.
with other people, you mean? Or
Yeah.
Like if I
Because
want
it's
to play Call of Duty online, the new Call of Duty game,
yeah.
don't I have to have PSN to play it or PlayStation Plus to play it?
I think you need, yeah.
No, you need
I believe-
PSN. You need a username, like a PSN username.
Right.
You don't need PlayStation Plus though.
So I can play my PlayStation games online for free?
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. Like just over what day was it? Friday or no, Wednesday. I was playing an old PS3 game. I downloaded a PS1 game to my PS3 and played online. I do not have PlayStation Plus. So
I did not know that.
oh yeah. Hopefully we weren't confusing our listeners with all that.
I'm just wrong. I was paying for PlayStation Plus just so I could play online.
I mean, PS Plus is great though. I mean, it's still worth the other perks.
What else do I get with PlayStation Plus? Somebody sell me on it now. I'm paying for something I don't even need.
Well, the free games to me is
free games, yeah. Just
reason enough, you know.
here's this month's free games for August. Like Just
Yeah.
3, Assassin's Creed, Freedom Cry,
Okay.
Super Mother Load, Snake
Nice.
Ball,
Mm.
and for PS Vita, let's see what you got: Downwell and Level 22.
Never heard of either of those two games.
I'll be
But hey,
there.
you know what? Free is free. That's what I say. I mean, free games are free games. So,
But now the reason I'll tell you, I'm going to defend myself on being completely wrong, America.
America.
I was 360 to the bone until the X
Ooh.
Bone came out. I
Good play
played.
at words there. That was good.
Yeah, that was an accident, is what that was.
Oh,
But I
wow.
was a 360 guy, so I had to pay to play online, and then they followed up with the Xbox Live Gold because they had the silver where you could still do the chats and you could have friends online and still be connected and all that. But then they had the gold if you wanted to play games online, you had to have Xbox Live Gold. So I thought the Xbox Live Gold was the same thing as the PlayStation Plus.
No.
I was mistaken.
Okay, so with Microsoft, you need to, if you want to play with other folks online, you need
Right.
to get us Xbox Gold.
Xbox
Right.
Live Gold, correct. That's
Xbox
the paid
Live,
subscription.
Gotcha. All right. I think PlayStation wins on this one. In this,
I think you're right.
yeah.
I think they do. Now,
So.
I will back up and say that it took the PS3's online capabilities was not anywhere near what Xbox Live was. Xbox Live did it right the first time,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and everybody else should just copy them. Nintendo, copy them.
How is
Give
it on
us
the
voice
Switch? Is it Switch have anything yet or no?
Not yet. They claim they're going to have it by Christmas, but I don't know.
Grimace.
They've got it. You have to download it like an app and then hook your Switch up to your smartphone, and then you use the smartphone through Wi-Fi. But if somebody calls you, you drop out of the voice chat. It's a big convoluted pain in the rear end that does not need to happen. We just need to plug a headset into our Switch and play it. That's what needs to happen.
So yeah, like I could see it like you're in a intense match of Splatoon 2 or about to win Mario Kart or throw a banana peel on a racetrack, and then oh crap, my mom called. I gotta, it just breaks out. That's awful. Not a good idea, Nintendo. So Charles, is there any more like what did we miss any of them? I mean, there's so many. It seems like I thought there was only a couple.
The Famicom had a modem attached to it, so there was some
Yep.
Famicom stuff.
I do remember you mentioning that a while ago.
What else was there? I think that's about it.
Famicom one, that's pretty cool as well. The Famicom wasn't that like pretty easy to mess with as well? It wasn't too
I think you just
complicated.
popped it in and that was it.
See, that's how see, they were fine before with the Famicom, so I'm not sure why things now are so complex. What's up?
Okay, so yeah, here's the online gameplay. On the PS4, you need a PlayStation Plus to play online.
To play really?
Or
Okay.
a PlayStation 4.
So I was
Like-
right.
Okay, so
I
like with
guess
go ahead.
if you have a PS3,
Yeah,
you don't have to have PlayStation
that's what
Plus.
it is then. Gotcha. Because I had a
I am vindicated.
yeah, I mean
Charles avenged me.
partially at least. Because I didn't have PS Plus for the longest time, and I played a ton of games with others, like mainly fighting games. I played Guilty Gear and BlazBlue and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Skullgirls, all King of Fighters. I played all those online. I did not have PlayStation Plus at all. So
Skullgirls was so much fun, wasn't it?
it's freaking hard. That is a hard game to learn.
Well, yeah, I didn't learn it. Me and my brother just played it while we were drinking beer one time.
Now that would be fun. Just
Oh yeah, it was a blast.
smash.
Yeah, exactly. I have it for Steam. The Skullgirls HD. Maybe I don't know if it's a sequel. I don't know.
Was it like an expansion pack?
I don't know. It came with a Humble Bundle, and maybe I bought it on the Steam sale. Anyways, I bought it. It was cheap, and we had a blast playing it. Had an absolute blast because a lot of the moves are really, really funny.
Oh yeah, I mean the characters are just it's
like the nurse girl that there's like an X-ray move or something like that. I don't know. It's been a while since I did it, and I was under the influence while I did. So things are a little fuzzy, but I remember the nurse girl being a lot of fun.
Yeah, the characters are drawn like it's like Animaniacs meets anime, like 2D anime fighter. So
It's very like the hand drawn.
yeah,
really just
but really
very
cartoony and
looking. It was a
exaggerated.
blast.
So, well, I mentioned expansion pack with Skullgirls, and we're going to try to segue into our next topic. And this one, Turf, was this your call or was this Charles's call as well? I can't remember. Just talk. All right. Well, expansion packs. What do we think of them? They're very, very popular now. There's a lot of opinions on these, and so
I think
now, America, you're going to hear three more opinions on them. From the
those opinions, they're like belly buttons. Everybody's got one, except for I don't know. I'm sure there's somebody that doesn't. Like if you're growing a test tube, you might not have had an umbilical cord. So I don't know. If test tube people are listening,
wasn't there a show about that? He didn't have a belly button, like Kyle XY.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Didn't have a belly button, so so he can't get a belly button piercing. God damn, that sucks.
Oh man. Oh, talk about problems.
I know.
Anyways,
yes.
So opinions, expansion packs.
Yeah.
Before we had the lovely DLC that everybody knows and loves now, tongue in cheek, there was expansion packs. There were things for especially PC games, or I guess only PC games, that you could go to the store and pick up another box and add it to the game you already had. One game that was notorious for this was The Sims. You see tons and tons and tons of these expansion packs and Goodwills these days.
Really?
You'll find them in thrift stores constantly because there were so many of them. There was the Sims Hot Date, The Sims Pets, The Sims Careers, The Sims, I don't know, STD Adventure. I don't know. There was STD Adventure. I don't know. Anyways, there was these games. If you needed to get more life out of them, instead of coming out with a sequel, you got to put the expansion pack to it. I know Warcraft, the original game, and Warcraft 2 had expansion packs.
So these are used as like kind of like cost saving measures to extend the longevity of a game,
right?
And then make more money from you.
Make more money from you, but don't go balls to the wall and make a sequel or make another entry because that costs too much. So
right, it wasn't really time for a new game. We didn't have to rebuild the engine. We just got more content for the same game.
Sure.
It was exactly like DLC now, except for it was in a box on the shelf at the store. And I love that idea. I love the fact that you could be playing, I don't know, Age of Empires, and you kind of got bored with it. So, but hey, for $9.99 or $19.99, whatever they were, I wasn't a PC gamer at the time, but I like the idea. You go pick it up and you bring your old game back to life. There was new content. I love that idea. I love the idea of making what's old new again.
Yeah. I guess I go back and forth. I guess it's very situational. Like, let's see, Bloodborne. I'll go with that. They added an expansion called The Old Hunters to Bloodborne, and it had new bosses, new weapons, new areas to explore. Worth every penny. And now other games, I'm not even sure. Like Gravity Rush, they had that game added a few expansion packs. Not worth every penny. Mainly because I don't like that game, but that's another story. They were just over so quickly and offered very, very little. So it's very situational.
Well, the thing I liked about expansion packs, and it's kind of something different with DLC now, it wasn't like they held anything back for the expansion pack. You got the whole game up front, and then it might be a year later, it might be 2 years later or whatever, the company decides, hey, we need to add more to this, or we can add more, get to this popular game. It wasn't an unfinished game and they tried to get more money out of you like allegedly DLC does now. It was adding more to it. The company was milking more out of a franchise. I'm not completely disillusioned, or I don't know. Anyways, whatever word you want to use there. I'm not naive to think that they weren't making money and there wasn't a reason for it, but it was, you did get to get the whole game up front. There was no, let's hold this back. We'll make it day one DLC.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it was adding to the game. It wasn't just part that they didn't put in and then like, oh, for $15 more, you can have the rest of the game. So
Sure.
that's why I really liked it, because of timing, I guess, and intent.
Well, Charles, how do you feel about this whole thing?
I haven't downloaded too many expansion packs or done much, of the DLC stuff.
Sure.
But the only one I know of, is that I have. When I got The Last of Us, it came with the expansion pack game, which was Last of Us Left Behind, which was initially an expansion pack, but I guess a couple months later, when they remastered the game for the PlayStation 4, they put that game with it. So,
all right.
Which is, it's a good side story to the game, which is, it fits within the game. But yeah.
I'll tell you a good expansion for a game. This, and I'm just kind of like Googling expansions for games. Sonic and Knuckles. That was Sonic and Knuckles. Remember, for the Sega Genesis?
Oh yeah.
You could take it's a cartridge.
Yeah.
And you fold the top back and you stick Sonic 3 on top of it, and you plug it in. You could play it as Knuckles in Sonic 3.
Well, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Now, it had its own game on the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge, but it was you could use a new character in the other Sonic games. Specifically, Sonic 3 was made to work with it. You could put him in Sonic 2, but he didn't have the hidden areas.
That's pretty neat that it did that. That is so cool.
But it gave you a whole different way to play Sonic 3, a game that you bought separately. So it was kind of it was a console version of an expansion pack.
Well, I mean, how like there was Street Fighter 2, then Street Fighter 2 Turbo, then Super Street Fighter 2, then Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Would you all consider those expansion packs, or just?
That was a re-release of the whole game in the arcade. They were sold as expansion packs. The Championship Edition, you got a new marquee and a new ROM set. You didn't even use the same board and the same, everything, the same art and everything, except for your marquee and some ROM chips that were updated, that you just pop the old ROM chips off the board and plug the new ones in. And here we go. We've got Championship Edition or Turbo or Super Turbo or whatever. It was the same game with more software added to it. Now, when we got the games at home, we had to buy the whole game over again. I couldn't have Street Fighter 2 and then like, oh, Turbo's coming out, and I pay $10 and get to add on to my original Street Fighter 2. I had to go get Street Fighter 2 Turbo that was like $70 or $80.
Well, how much was Sonic and Knuckles? Was that like a cheap little?
I don't remember, but I know it legitimately added. I had a different experience. I could put my Sonic and Knuckles cartridge in, or my Sonic and Knuckles connected to Sonic 3. They were two different experiences. Street Fighter 2, I couldn't make the two cartridges to go together at all. I just had to go. Super Street Fighter 2 was I had to buy a different set of a different board, a different game pack, I guess they were called at the time.
Yeah.
So I really wouldn't call the home versions of Street Fighter or Super Street Fighter 2, the different Turbo or Super or whatever, wouldn't call them an expansion, even though in the arcade they were an expansion.
Yeah.
I've got an opinion.
Yeah. And just like your belly button, it's lovely. So
it's deep. Just like my belly button, it's deep.
Yeah, I just think that with great power comes great responsibility. So if these game developers are, if they know how to handle their game and make a good expansion pack, I think it could work well if it's priced right, But there are some that just, they'll milk you for everything you're worth. And
yeah,
I'll tell you what, I got a little trivia for you.
What's that? What's that?
Philip, you're a PlayStation 1 aficionado, are you not?
I never claimed to be, but I'll try. What you got?
Just say yes, man. Just go with me.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Yes. Did you know that there was actually an expansion pack for a PlayStation 1 game?
Let me try to think what game it is.
Okay, we'll just give it all that one over. Just done.
Is it an action game?
Yes.
Okay. Is it from Sony itself?
No.
Okay. Is it from Capcom?
No.
Atlas?
No.
Shit, I'm out of guesses. Okay.
Okay. It was from Rockstar. The original
Rockstar.
Grand Theft Auto for PS1
I was actually going to say that, but yeah, go ahead.
has an expansion for it. It has Grand Theft Auto London 1969. You started the game with the original Grand Theft Auto disc, and then you would take that disc out, put the London disc in, and it would load and it would play.
Huh.
That is pretty awesome.
I think so. That's a little piece of trivia for you.
Now, again, going back, kind of like back with Sonic and Knuckles, was it priced the same as a new game, or was it like a quick little?
No idea.
10.99. Okay.
Honestly, I remember seeing the London Grand Theft Auto London game in bargain bins a lot, and so I'm gonna say that it was cheaper. It probably started off cheaper. I never did buy it. I don't own it to this day, but I remember seeing it a lot in, like at Walmart, they have the games that aren't in the case anymore. They're off on the shelf, that I remember seeing it there.
Okay.
So,
okay.
I'm going to say that it was probably cheaper. It was probably $19.99 if I had to guess.
So would you guys consider what's up?
I'm just wagging here, just the wild ass guess.
What's that? Oh, the 1999 release date. Okay. Would you consider games that have? Well, I guess this kind of goes back to the Street Fighter 2 example. And on the PS2 there was Guitar Hero 2. Then they had Guitar Hero 2 80s Encore, I believe it was called. Would you consider that kind of like an expansion pack?
Well, I'll tell you what. And this kind of goes back to my Street Fighter 2. If I can play it without the original, I'm not going to call it an expansion pack.
Nope,
but
you can't.
They had
its own disc.
Right. But if you played like Guitar Hero Rock Band, the original Rock Band, they came out with track packs that were on disc. It wasn't its own game. It was actually Rock Band, but you would put the disc in and you would download them to your hard drive. And that was an expansion pack. You with me?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely am. Yeah.
It's not if it's not original hardware, I'm going to call it an expansion. If you play it outside the original hardware, I'm going to call it its own standalone game.
All right.
But I may be talking out of my rear end once again. So.
Yeah, the 80s Encore version only had like 16, 17 songs, but they charged full price for it. Like, what's that company? Octane? They knew what they were doing though. Like they knew that they had a gold mine, so they're going to sell as many of these things as they could, and they were right. People bought it.
I'll tell you what, I bought Rock Band songs 2 weekends ago. We broke it all back out, and we bought a couple songs. It was on the old Xbox 360. I bet you I have $2,000 in Rock Band.
How much?
Probably $2,000, at least $1,000 in Rock Band over the year.
Well, yeah, it's been many years. So.
Well, it was okay. I bought it when it was new, so it was like $250 brand new. Yeah. It was $200 plus tax, I think. And then I bought it. So I bought it day one. Then I bought every Rock Band game. I haven't bought 4. I bought 1, 2, and 3 for the 360. I have the keyboard. I have the drums. I have extra guitars. I have songs. I'd buy like 3 songs a week, just because. Well, we played it a lot. Yeah. I would have people come over to the house. I'm like, hey, you want to break out Rock Band? Everybody's having a few beers. Rock Band's fun when you've had a few beers.
Oh, absolutely is. Yeah.
I will.
Except for playing the drums. I cannot do the drums.
The drums
not because they're hard to learn, but because they sound like horse hooves when you hit them.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a drum.
It doesn't sound like a damn drum.
And that throws you off.
Yeah. I understand. Like, what's this? So what songs did you just get, Turf? I got to ask.
Oh, I got Love Man by Otis Redding.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And what was the other one? Sound of Silence.
Mm-hmm. Simon Garfunkel?
It wasn't me that picked it. It was I was playing at my girlfriend's house with several teenagers. So.
Okay, yeah. Well, that was good of you. So, but Rock Band's a good example of expansion packs
that's
done right.
Example.
Done right, yeah. Any of them that are done wrong? Top of your guys' head?
All these add-on stuff you could buy for the online play. You know, here's $1 for a new hat for your character. $1 for a new jacket. Oh, you want new boots? That's another $1. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, that'll add up too, man.
Oh yeah.
People will spend like $5,000 on clothing for their character just for like these online shoot 'em ups.
Well, I think the expansion packs kind of gave way to, it was the introduction to downloadable content that we have now. And downloadable content, it's good and evil. If done right, it's the most amazing thing ever. Like Shovel Knight. You know,
Shovel Knight nailed it.
They give you a whole new game for, you know, for the price of downloadable content, or a whole new story inside the same game on the same engine. And then you have things like Marvel versus Capcom, or Marvel versus Capcom 2, is that what or 3, excuse me, 3, for the Xbox 360 and PS3, that had the characters on the disc. Like the data is on the disc, but you had to pay to unlock it. Day one downloads there's no reason. That's unexcusable if you ask me.
And every fighting game I've played since a while now, they always had that. You could see the characters, you know, you could fight these characters, but you couldn't play as these characters unless you downloaded them for something like $8-9 a pop.
Exactly. That's horse shit. That's horse shit.
Why?
It just, I mean, if they're there, put them in the game. Don't make me start off and build a game out of nothing. I'll tell you, a big offender of that, a big just nasty thing was Killer Instinct for the
God, that's like poster child of this shit.
Right. You can download one character, download the game for free, and you get one character. You can play as Jago. And
he's a ninja, right?
Right. He was the ninja.
Boxer.
No, he was the ninja.
Ninja, okay.
And then any other character you had to buy separately. Or you could just, I guess, buy the whole game. I think it was $60. But that's trash, man. That's trash.
Yep, a lot of those day one characters, like, it causes such a panic too. Like, oh man, I gotta make sure my code works, make sure I do this on the day I get it, otherwise I'll miss out on this character. I really, really, really long for the days when DLC used to be called, you know, additional content, unlockable content, I don't know, extra content, side stuff, who knows?
I'll tell you something, and this is just going to be me bitching.
Yeah.
One that was really, it was just absolute horse shit was, and I figured this out whenever I was out on my own, I was professional, I was out of college, so I had a real job, and my Xbox 360, so a little extra scratch. And Tiger Woods Golf, like I think it was 2007 maybe. Instead of powering up your character, they made it like the free-to-play model. You could slowly power up your character, or we could break out the credit card and we can 100% our swing right now.
That's a whole other can of worms right there. Free-to-play stuff.
That's horse shit. They got a lot of money out of me, and it was horse shit.
Hell, an RPG for the 360, Tales of Vesperia, you can buy levels. Use your money, your hard-earned cold hard cash to buy levels to get good. I know, it's like, what the fuck, really? But people did it. Ugh. Pissed me off,
it was like Tiger Woods. It was cool. Like if you're going to play online, you had to build your guy up, or you're going to get smoked. So you break out the old Xbox points, and then you start leveling your guy up. And $20 later, you've got a guy that can compete online. So
Charles, see what you did by mentioning those games with buying new hats and shoes and gloves and stuff.
You peeled a scab off something, man. That's what you did.
But that's a good example.
I ripped out the sutures and it flowed.
It sure did. Oh, gentlemen, anything else to add to this topic?
Well, you have to pay for that. That's additional content you got to pay for.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Speaking of which, if you'd like to advertise with Our Parents' Basement, email me at opbpodcast@gmail.com for pricing and length and girth.
I'm gonna bust up my platinum Visa for that one, Turf. You never know.
I'll let you.
Well, we are nearing the hour mark. So in order not to rush these, we will start our goodbyes right now. So I'm going to hand the floor over to Turf, and he's going to tell us what we need to know about Our Parents' Basement and saying goodbye.
I'll tell you what, if you're watching this on YouTube, take a look right over there. There's 68 more of these jolly little episodes. So you check us out on the YouTubes. And we're live every Thursday night at 8:30 Central. So that'd be 9 on the right coast and
9:30.
9:30. Yeah. I don't math. I don't time zone.
You're an engineer. You're supposed to math forever. You're living.
That's true. I am. 9:30 on the right coast, 6:30 on the left coast.
What about the mountain?
Mountain, that'd be up to 7:30.
There we go.
Look at me. I got this figured out.
You got it.
Check us out live. Interact with us in the chat. If you want to just listen to us and take us with you wherever you go, you can download this podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Tuned In, SoundCloud until it goes under. We're going to ride that one all the way to the ground.
Yes.
And interact with us. Hit us up on Twitter.
Yeah.
OPB Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Facebook.com/OPB Podcast. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up, tickle that subscribe button, and hang out with us, man. We have a good time. If y'all enjoy this 1/10 as much as we enjoy doing it, you're going to be here for life. So I appreciate it, and thank you. Thank you once again for listening.
Nicely done. Nicely done. All right. Well, gentlemen, it has been a pleasure as always. I always look forward to Thursdays because of this lovely podcast. So we will be back next week with a new topic. And until then, take care of yourselves, and we will see ya real soon.
Yes.
Arrivederci, baby.